So, einen wunderschönen guten Morgen. Ich begrüße alle ganz herzlich zum Morning Meeting heute. Ein besonderes Morning Meeting. Noch spreche ich Deutsch, gleich werde ich nicht mehr Deutsch sprechen, denn ich habe heute einen besonderen Gast, nämlich Darius Anucauskas. Darius und ich, wir kennen uns seit einigen Jahren tatsächlich. Darius kam jüngst auf mich zu. Ach übrigens, an alle diejenigen, die sich jetzt gerade wundern, einen Augenblick, ich muss mal kurz hören. Ja, sehr schön. Das läuft jetzt nämlich alles. Das ist ein bisschen mit Verzögerung, dass wir losgelaufen sind. Wir mussten nämlich die Settings hier im Hintergrund so ein bisschen ändern mit dem Livestream und dergleichen. Das hat gerade nicht so losgelegt, wie das gewöhnlicherweise war. Also, Darius und ich, wir kennen uns schon einige Jahre. Gleich werdet ihr auch ein Bild sehen. Ich werde gleich sowohl meine Kamera teilen als auch Darius seine. Wir werden heute gemeinsam das Morning Meeting hier abfahren und gemeinsam einen Blick auf die Märkte werfen. Darius sitzt in Zypern. Das Event wird auf Englisch stattfinden. Ich hoffe, das ist für euch keine große Hürde. Sollte es irgendwelche Sprachschwierigkeiten geben, nutzt gerne die Möglichkeit, die Frage oder wie auch immer geartet, also Übersetzung, könntest du da vielleicht ganz kurz sagen, was damit gemeint ist. Könntest du das in die Chatbox schreiben, beziehungsweise schreibt es in die Chatbox und ich würde es dann entsprechend aufgreifen. Also die Sprachbarriere soll für keinen hier in irgendeiner Form ein Problem darstellen. Ja, ganz offiziell natürlich. Also, Darius ist von easyMarkets. In dem Zusammenhang auch natürlich wichtig ein Risikohinweis. Erstens, Devisen-CFDs grundsätzlich gehen mit Risiken einher, die nicht für den Anleger geeignet sind. Gehebelte Finanzprodukte, bitte sein persönliches Risikoprofil erstellen oder von einem unabhängigen Finanzberater erstellen lassen. Bitte vor allem nichts als Anlageempfehlung, was wir jetzt hier in den kommenden Minuten thematisieren, verstehen. Wir werden gegenseitig uns den Ball zu spielen, ein bisschen über die Märkte sprechen. Auch heute natürlich mit Blick auf die Earnings Tesla nachbörslich, aber bitte wie gesagt, nichts in irgendeiner Form als Anlageempfehlung missverstehen. So, jetzt werdet ihr gleich erstmal mich sehen, so, und dann werdet ihr jetzt gleich auch Darius sehen, der sich jetzt unmuten kann, beziehungsweise du musst, you have to switch on your camera, by the way. So it's just an E here.
There we go. I think our problems with the with technology are not ending from my side as well. Here, I'm just kind of quickly trying to make this happen again.
And by the way, so we are running this via Google Meet. So just for everyone to understand, today it's Alphabet Earnings. It's the mother company of Google. So guys, watch out.
Yes, exactly. Hey, everybody, can you see me now? I mean, yes. Can you see my
really good?
my pretty bald face now? Yes.
Yes, you should be live now. Yeah, there we go. So
yes, I can
two bald guys in the internet.
Hey, we're gonna blind you with our beauty, so ladies and gentlemen, yes. So put your sunglasses on. You're gonna get a lot of wisdom coming out of this. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, first of all, Jens, thank you very much. Thank you very much for hosting and having me on your channel. Really, really appreciate that. I think we had a great blast during our first session when you appeared on our channel. I think that was great. I think we had a great response, great feedback. So yeah, look, just a quick kind of introduction. What you were talking in German, I think I understood like around 30-40%, Ich habe Deutsch gelernt nur für 3 Jahre, aber mein Deutsch ist nicht so gut, Entschuldigung, So I keep on saying the same learned phrase,
and that was far better than most of the German we can witness here, at least here.
Well, hey, look, I mean, maybe one day I will brush up on this one and, I'll so yes, Entschuldigung für unsere viewers. So yes, I mean, well, unfortunately, we'll have to speak in English in this session. Yes, so thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. I really appreciate, like I said, your warm welcome. Just a quick
we can
introduction about myself. So I'm Darius Anucauskas, head of market analysis here at easyMarkets. Have been in the industry for quite a while. Maybe not as long as you have been, Jens, but
yeah, you're 23, right? So like
I'm 20, like just turned 18. Just turned 18. So but yeah, anyway, so yes, I've been working in different in industries and in banks, and yes, and then moved into forex. But yeah, I've been in forex for my heart was in the financial markets for quite a while.
By the way, one thing which is probably very interesting, you don't even know it yourself, but you were the guy who really got me hooked in terms of TradingView. So that was something I heard about earlier, and so on and so forth. And then I met you, and you were very active there. And that was when I really started to recognize how great of a research tool this is, and what massive opportunities there are in terms of TradingView. So you were the one who introduced me to TradingView. So there's a story to everything, guys.
Yes. So yeah, I mean, thank you very much. Yes, I mean, I look, I like Trading View. I'm a believer of things that they rise and then they fall. So I think that, in my opinion, that if they will continue in the same path, and they will be okay, then yes, so I think that Trading View will still survive. However, if they suddenly start shifting in the other direction, maybe that's where maybe the tricky bit could come in. So hopefully they will stick to
They
their.
went public most recently, no? I think last year or 2022 or something. I think they went public. They're now
No,
Nasdaq listed, if I'm not
they have
mistaken.
not yet. They're still planning. So yes, I mean, so they're still planning
Okay.
to go public. So we'll see how that goes, of course. But at the moment, yes. Look, in general, like I said, I believe that good companies do survive if they continue to
You want to
evolve,
talk
and they
about Tesla
continue.
straight away, no?
Sorry.
You want to talk about Tesla straight away.
Ooh. Oh yes, I know we picked up on that one in the previous session, but yes, of course, I would love to. But yeah. Anyway, so look, in general, for now, I would say TradingView is a good thing. I think there is one in Germany, guidance or something like that. There
Oh yeah,
was.
I think they're rebrand. I think they were guidance, and now today it's Stock 3, if I'm not
Yes,
mistaken.
yes, 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 exactly. So I don't know. I've not used them, but I was told that they're quite okay as well. I don't know. I mean, it's
They have a very good and large audience in Germany, at least. So that's
yeah.
certainly something, because I think Godmore Trader is behind them. So and by the way, all the Stock 3 guys now watching my stream, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and to share this video and all the kind words we're sharing about you. So and by the way, just give me a call.
Sure. Can I just double check with the viewers who are watching us right now? Can you hear both of us? Because look, today I'm just double checking. I'm like risk.
They can. I double checked already, so they can. I was
Okay,
scared about
okay,
this
okay.
from yesterday. I couldn't sleep at night.
Cool. That's great in that case, because, like I said, yeah, my like I said, I'm constantly experiencing like different little issues with on my side. Sometimes like something like doesn't come through. Sometimes you don't press the button somewhere or whatever. Honestly, so as long as people can hear us and see us, fantastic. We can run the show. You know.
So,
Anyway,
do we want to share the screen then?
look, you lead the way. Honestly, I will jump in, because the whole point is that I think that we need to
What are your
talk.
favorite markets right now? So the first, I think the first stream 2 weeks ago, we realized that we are both big Elon Musk fans. So
Yes, 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 yes. So look, for me, I mean, I'm in a lot of things right now, and basically, but I'm a
Oh,
big
by the
fan at
way,
this point.
just before we start, then you're in a lot of things. So what kind of trader are you? So what is your trading approach?
Okay,
What are your
basically,
favorite markets?
I think at this point I am a little bit of everything, and to be honest, I try to find opportunities in everything. If it's a stock, then it's a stock, But at this point, probably I'm more of a short-term trader. I'm going for, let's say, smaller profits. Let's say if I go for and I get like 10% or something on a stock, then I'm happy, and I just get out. Or depending on the situation, if I see, let's say, I I look at the fundamentals, but I also look at technicals, of course. And if I see that there's maybe a possible reversal happening, okay, that's fine. I'll just take my profits and just get out. Maybe it will retrace back a little bit, and I'll see that, oh, actually now it found good support. Something retrace like, I don't know, 38.2 on the Fibonacci, and then I'll think, you know what, actually good point to enter again, and then you go again like this. So that's what I'm doing. That's what I'm trying to kind of how I'm trying to play the game.
And you said
Again,
stocks,
it does.
so
It
it's when we first met, I know that you were quite active also in currencies, right? So
Yes.
FX is still a topic, or if it, or did it drop?
No,
As I
no, no,
said in
no.
our first
Effects
stream.
effects is still a topic for me. And for example, when I'm creating, let's say, something like an EA algorithm, then I actually apply it
So
on
languages
FX.
are your thing, right? So it's not just German and English and Greek and Russian, but it's also Python and C++.
Oh, no, 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 no. I will tell everybody straight away. I look smarter than I am. I have to admit, I am not that great and that genius. It's just that I try to find like different ways and leeways and how to go around this. So look, I have my brain is like full of different strategies and ideas. However, there are tools that help you out to implement this. So instead of, let's say, going into coding yourself, you have tools. And I'm like, honestly, I've never been ashamed to say that, because it's like I have an idea. I have like my different, my, like I said, my brain thinks about different ideas, how I can, okay, this strategy, let's see if it's going to work. Let's see if that's, and I of course I bow down to people who know Python, who know, C++, and all that stuff. So congratulations to them. In my situation, I know strategies, and I try to make them work. So, and I try different ways, different methods, But yes, again, coming back to the FX, I apply, like I said, algorithms on FX. In my opinion, kind of works a little bit better. Again, I might be wrong, but yes, FX is something that I
But it's
constantly
a
look
tough
at,
market
especially
right
the yen.
now. So if I remember my days back then, let's say 10, 15 years ago, when I really was heavy in FX,
Mhm.
I had kind of a feeling that there was not just more volatility, but also there was there were better chances to formulate an edge. Like you really could spot times when there was a certain edge, especially for us as retail traders, due to our let's say diminished size or something. But I think the markets got way more efficient, at least in the FX space. So that's one of the reasons why I switched over to especially US equities, because I think even I'm not saying that they are not efficient markets, but there's better ways to find an
Predict.
edge, like and capture these edges. I think compared to the FX space. Would you
True,
agree
true,
on that?
true. Look, I agree with you totally, because I look, you have different types of traders. You have, like, somebody's gonna advocate only for effects, somebody's gonna advocate only for stocks, somebody's gonna advocate only for commodities and indices. I Everybody's welcome. That's why we need the everybody to be different, because basically we create the market right this way. Um,
And by the way,
and
that's one of the reasons why I think that artificial intelligence is not such a big issue. Because some are saying, well, if AI takes over, then markets will be gone. I don't think so, to be honest, because like there will be different guys programming these AI tools, which were certainly they will make tons of money. And I just look at guys like Jim Simons, for example. I mean,
Mhm.
like he passed away. Unfortunately, several weeks ago, I think. But I think there was a book called the Man Who Cracked Wall Street, or broke Wall
Yeah,
Street, or
something like
something.
that.
Something like that, right? So he's the guy, the brain behind Reminiscence's no, not Renaissance technology, right?
Yeah.
And I think, well, no one really knows what or knew what he was doing, respectively his team, right? So they kept they made a secret out of this, and the reason for that is, well, they don't want to everyone know what they're doing, because they want to exploit the guys. So like this is a big casino table, and they want to take the chips of the other guy. So naturally, I mean, I think there will never ever, well, never ever, never
Never say
say
never.
never say never, but at least, well, it will be kind of difficult to see a future where one AI will take over the world and crack every code, and like and even then, well, then play with yourself. So which one do you want to take then? Yourself?
I totally agree with you, because look, I mean, okay, you know what our problem nowadays is, that, for example, if you're, let's say, if you don't agree with AI fully, then you're a grandpa, like, then, oh, back in my days we didn't have them stuff like that,
but
so
no
it's
one
like,
can see that because the gray hair is.
exactly. That's why you shave your head. So the gray hair is not seen. So fantastic. But no, but this is the thing. I mean, I look, okay. AI, it's good. It's okay. I mean, but again, it depends how you use it, right? I mean, if you solely rely on AI, then I don't think that it's great, because you have to apply your own knowledge and your own kind of experience. And recently I read somewhere on LinkedIn or something, somebody, and there was like, oh, it's like very fun to watch on LinkedIn, these heated debates, about, like, especially if you throw out AI, right? I mean, and then suddenly you want to create war on LinkedIn, just throw in, like, hey, what do you think about AI? Ooh, boom, boom, like, so it's like, and then everybody starts, like, pouring, no, it's great, no, it's good. But I look, in general, okay, everything is good. It's just that, try to apply your own common sense as well. If you solely rely on that, then come on, it's like, no, you cannot. And people who deny AI as well, it's also wrong. So, because you have to, it's going to be part of our, but it has to all intertwine. So I agree with you, where you say that still, the markets will depend on people, not only AI. No, I mean, eventually, look, if somebody comes in, a big player, and decides to, what, let's buy a lot of shares of this one. And what? Because if it's a AI told it, no, it probably came in. Somebody came in with a lot of money, said, you know what, let's move this stock a little bit, and then, like, let's boom, let's buy it or something. AI was telling you to keep on shorting, because the sentiment was this, and that's why we keep on shorting. But no, actually, everybody joins. Okay, example, GME. A few years ago, GameStop. Okay, probably AI.
I will
If you
share
go,
my screen now. Wait
huh?
a second. I will. I want to test it now. Whether everything works
Let's see. Let's see.
as promised. So, bam.
So
It's the best I'm stuck right now. You can see it. Well, we talk about this last 10 minutes. Boom, like goes up in the pre-market. So this is Tesla.
okay.
but let's open GME. So you brought up GME, so that everyone is on the same page, and that we also, let me just here probably.
So yeah, I'm looking at it as well as a daily chart.
So that
Yeah.
was the most recent run.
Yeah.
And I most likely you're referring to this one, right? Here,
Yes. Exactly. Exactly.
this
Exactly.
monstrous squeeze.
Yes.
And by the way, I mean, I've heard it so many times. Like, a stock probably has two lives. So there's one up wave, then you go down. There's a second one, and then it just dies. In this case, like it's a cat, right? So it's funny that the guy who's behind the CEO, Ryan Cohn, is the I think he's the founder of Chewy, right? So CHWY or something
I
like
don't
that.
know this one. I mean, maybe. That would
Yeah,
be...
I think so, and that's funny that we bring up nine lives of a cat here, and by the way,
Chewy. Did you say
yeah,
Chewy?
Chewy, it's like yeah,
Ah,
it's Chewy.
okay. Ah, okay. You can see similarities. I just popped up a chart of Chewy on the
Yeah, so
trading.
right now the guy here, let me just here. This is the company, so Chewy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Ryan
it's Ryan
Cohen. Yeah.
Cohn. Here's Ryan Cohn, and if you click on this guy, so he is now the CEO of GameStop. Can we see it here? CEO Kona GameStop. There we go. So it's German, so it's an English article, but there.
Yeah. From GameStop. Yeah.
And he's right now. He was also. Well, it's really funny. So you don't know that if you didn't actively trade the stock. Unfortunately, it didn't go up to 80, but I was long a small chunk. So I told the people, based on the gamma squeeze, I was like, I want to be in it, even if it's just one share, but like. I want to be part of that, because there will be a day when my kids come and say, "Hey, what do you think of GameStop?" "Oh, to the moon, my son, to the moon."
Yeah, true.
And then you're a cool dad, right? So your son will talk about you in like, my dad, he was long in GameStop. No, GameStop. Wow.
Wow, it's like he's one of those. Ooh.
Ooh,
Like,
does your father own Bitcoin? Wow. But
It's like they
I
will say,
interrupted you. So
they will say
GameStop and
probably,
AI.
you know, in the classroom that, oh, your father owns Bitcoin. It's like, oh my God, he's so like so 21st century. Honestly, like, you know, it's all about Polkadot now. It's all,
My father is in Solana. Yeah, it's good. Yeah, great. So this blockchain stuff is heavy, eh?
yes, yes, true. Oh my God. Anyway, listen, can we pick up on Tesla?
Sure.
Because it's a good one. Um,
So, which time frame do you prefer?
Look, me personally, I look at dailies because I like to kind of I I with the 5 minute charts. Yes, they're good when you're trying to find like an entry maybe on a day, or if let's say. But in overall, I look at the daily chart because for me, I just get a better picture, you know, and what's happening and how it's moving. And like lately, you can see like this nice rally from like when it cleared the $200 mark. I mean, you can see that nicely on the daily chart as well. So it kind of broke that neckline of a possible like inverted head and shoulders pattern. I mean, not a very attractive head and shoulders pattern, but
But
I'm
here, so
talking.
I think they were also on, for
Yeah, this one as
example,
well.
Twitter and or X right now. The break of this trend line. So that was brought up several times. To
Yes.
be honest, I was surprised. It's interesting that so many looked at this trend line. For me, it wasn't really important at all. Well, I see why, but I don't really think that this is the trigger. So
I
I right now I think it's like it's more kind of like well, let's look at Qs for example. So we have a massive run up
Yeah.
higher. So in the Nasdaq, and now especially well, then we can also probably should look at Nvidia for example. So runner from the beginning of the year. And right now, just imagine you're a portfolio manager, and while you're probably in one of the hottest stocks right now, Nvidia, or your overweight tech stocks, whatever, still you have to make money for your clients. And well, where do you find these stocks with great growth outlooks and everything? And I think that's one of the reasons why Tesla right now is a very interesting. And by the way, also the earnings today are very interesting because the
Yes.
growth outlook plays a huge role right now, and especially when looking that, I mean, that was at the end of April. It's like it's 3 months ago, one quarter. That was the last time earnings were released. We were down year to date something like 40% or so, and right now we are break even or even a small. I think we were small. Well, probably plus minus zero, so like break even for the year. Um, and that being said, with the Qs being up something like 20% or so, I think we have still room to run on the upside.
If I just purely apply, let's say, okay, maybe it's not good to do that on stocks, but if I just purely apply technical analysis on Tesla, let's keep your chart in there. In general, I keep on saying to people, look, whenever we break a trend line, we tend to revisit it from the other side. So in this case, for example, on what I'm considering actually, maybe a bit of a retracement, like, you know. And if you actually, can you do me a favor? Can you
Like
draw
this?
me a Fibonacci? Can you zoom in a little bit and draw me a Fibonacci? Let's say from the recent like the lowest point there.
Okay, let's just do it
Uh,
that way. And then
higher. This one, higher. No.
here, there we go.
Two steps up. Yeah, one more up. There we go. That's the first one, Fibonacci.
There we go.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if you draw me from the bottom there for to just grab the peaks. On I'll show you a trick on Trading View. Just click on the magnet. You see on the left side you have a little magnet there. This little
This one?
magnet. Yep. So yep, this one. Click on this one and drag. Grab the bottom end of the Fibonacci and grab the bottom of the Fibonacci and drag it all the way to the low, to the point. Yeah, just grab. No. Grab the
So
Fibonacci. Yep, and drag it. Yeah, you
you're
see, there
oh.
we go. Now it sticks. Grab the low. Yep, there we go. That's the lowest point,
And the same one here.
and
Like
then go higher, and go. Yes, go grab this one, the peak, and do me a favor, another favor. Go into settings of this on the top. You see, no, there's a floating box hanging in there. On the, what you
there
don't
we go. Yeah.
go into settings here and click on to extend. Yes, still go in
Let me just
here
here.
and extend to the right. Nach rechts inviten. Go higher. Go higher. Higher. Up.
Oh,
There,
really? Yeah. All
nach
right.
rechts. Yeah, there we
There we
go.
go.
And now you can see.
Ah,
There we go. So we learned something new a little bit.
that's crazy.
No, it's a good tool. Honestly, believe me,
Funny
it's
because have you read Atomic Habits from James Clear?
no.
You should read this. Getting better 1% each day. Like it compounds over the year. And now I have my 1%. Like say, well, it's a great day. So let's see what the Nasdaq delivers today.
So that's what I'm saying. So this is what I'm considering, basically, like let's say a drop to 38.2% on the Fibonacci, on this Fibonacci retracement. Could be a nice good area, because again, it could also test this downside line, the broken one. Like I said, I'm in a way, I believe still in that theory. However, I will stop believing in that theory if it's going to break the current peak, basically the July high.
Yeah. So oh wait a second. It's like
Yeah, it's skewed a little bit. There we go. You see? There we go. There we go. So this area, and
you know why this is great? Because yesterday, no, it was over the weekend. I did a weekly outlook for this week, give people already some thoughts on Tesla, and what I told them was like, it depends a little how we start into the week. Probably we kind see of a final flush out. Probably it's not because of Tesla, because of the overall market after we came in quite weak last week from Wednesday, Thursday, and so on. And then I said, well, it depends a little on how deep we pull in, but probably we are skewed to the long side risk reward wise, because if we come in now, I think a potential bottom or potential support will likely be found somewhere around probably 220 or so. So that was here. That was this push higher right from the start. That was the delivery numbers. So like when we really went vertical, I don't even think that it was deliveries, but it was more like Tesla Energy. And the interesting thing now is I didn't even know that, but it corresponds with the 38.2 Fibonacci.
Exactly.
So 220.
That's
like,
why this little kind of symbolism, I like to apply technical analysis sometimes. Again, this is where the old-fashioned, even like even older people than us, like they keep on saying like, oh my god, like this voodoo thing that you're doing here, like this technical analysis, oh my god, like this is not, it's not good. However, if you start looking at actually all these like technicals as well, yes, you combine them with the fundamentals, you look at technicals as well, you see that the Fibonacci retracements actually are working as well. I mean, on NVIDIA as well, it was working. So I was kind of trying to play this game. However, I should actually state that when you're dealing with stocks, you should not solely rely on technical analysis, because that's going to take you out very quickly. So it's a combo. It's always a balance, like in life. Jens, I cannot hear you. Your mic is off or something like that. I don't know. You disappeared somewhere.
Can you hear me?
Oh yes, now I can hear you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Well, this is like it sounded like if I was gone, but I have a AI filter on my microphone, so it like I could now tell my kids in the living room, like, and I did a test. No, not joking. So I told my son to scream for his mother from the living room, and you couldn't. It filtered it out completely. So it was like there was no noise. It's really crazy. So, and sometimes it sounds as if I'm lost, but I'm still here and you can still hear me. But my AI is working.
Listen, in general, so your thoughts on Tesla, what do you think, for my own personal portfolio in that case, like, which is not a financial advice anymore. No.
By the way, guys, please, this is it's no financial advice, and I have a conflict of interest here. So I'm invested in Tesla for a long time. So long-term investor.
There we go.
So well, now surprise, I don't see much upside now. Or downside.
I'm kind of leaning a little bit more towards a bit of a retracement towards that trend line, to be honest, and then we'll see.
To be honest, what I like about the most recent run. So you look at this, and I mean, you talk about stocks with your brother, for example, and he looks at his app, and then he calls you and says, "Are you rich already?" Like, what? Why should I? Rich? What do you mean? Like, well, I've seen, like, did you see Tesla? Yeah, sure. It nearly doubled within like 2 months. And so like you must be, yeah, that might be the case, but well, probably got a little steep too fast. and let's just see, even though, and that was also something I told him, but also the audience here in the channel, I said, well, I think there's a shift in the overall psychology. So if we remember, like, from when we really got off from the lows in 2023, but also
Mhm.
in addition to that from the beginning of 2024, and Tesla really never caught a bit, but like was sold all the way down. Not really sure what this was, but there was overall probably also fear in terms of this how we call this, like the pay package for Musk. I think,
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
will he continue to stay as the CEO or take his knowledge somewhere else to
yeah,
X
yeah,
or
yeah.
something like that? All his AI knowledge, like.
Listen, I have a good one for you as well. So about Tesla and about Trump. So this is a good. This is where I want to pick up your brains on this. So if at the moment, as we know, and as according to Trump, who and where he said that Musk is right
I
now
mean,
paying him like
let's
45
let's just
mil per.
just think about this. 2 weeks ago we spoke, and the world today is completely different than 2 weeks
Yeah.
ago.
So
Like, it's
that's one
it's
thing.
it's
So
crazy, and it's not just small bit, but like it's a different world.
so that's where my question is, like, actually. So this is what I'm saying. So if it's if he's paying 45 mil every month to Trump, but Trump
No,
is
he's paying them to a pack, something like that. So it's
okay.
like,
Okay,
it's
let's assume.
very, very important.
Okay, okay. But no. What I'm trying to say is, what I'm trying to ask is that if he's paying, let's say, 45 mil, and we know that Trump is very, let's say, anti-China and everything like that. He's pro-tariff, or let's tariff this, tariff that. But Tesla actually is dealing with a lot of Chinese, has a lot of Chinese interests. So, what do you think? How the Trump will play the game? Will he actually continue to pour crap on China, knowing that still Musk is very invested into China, and now now, but he's very happy that he's getting 45 mil per month. So it's like, which way, how you're going to steer this? And this is a good question. How will the Tesla stock will it benefit, let's say, if Trump wins, or will it not? It's because, again, because of the Trump's rhetoric and the way Trump expresses himself around tariffs, or actually he will, let's say, you know what, only Tesla gets some sort of like a tax break, or a break from tariffs. Actually the rest will be, will apply tariffs, but on this one, for Tesla, we're okay. What do you think? I mean, would something like that could be happening, or no?
I think we're, well, to some extent, I think we're playing 4D chess right now.
Yes,
So,
that's
well,
my
first of
problem.
all, I'd like to say, I think, I mean, it's interesting, right? So, especially
I
in the
don't have an
German.
answer for this. If
Me too, but I think, well, we probably could connect some dots. I think that's a fantastic question, to be honest. So, like, I mean, first of all, Musk voted for Biden and as a Democrat right from the start, and that completely changed. I think
yeah,
because he realized, well, these guys, even if I'm a nice guy and I tell my
yeah,
followers,
yeah.
I mean, this guy has 190 million followers on X, like, I endorse Democrat nominee, and they just give me a finger and they say, you know what? Well, we are green, but you are not, like, whatever reason there is to be
Yeah, yeah.
anti-Musk. It's like, it just doesn't make sense. At first glance, it just doesn't make sense. Okay, and then he starts to endorse Trump to some extent, but I think, well, probably initially it was kind of like,
But do you
I'm
think
not
that the
sure.
stock will benefit? The stock, if Trump wins and he starts imposing tariffs
Yeah,
on
yeah,
China?
I see. But at least I first of all tried to get into the mind of Musk. So, like, initially, I think it was kind of probably typical childish behavior to some extent.
Okay.
So, you're not my friend, okay? Then I go to the big guys here. Like, this is my friend now. So, like, initially it was really like, well, this is the behavior. However, like, it's politics. So, whoever. But I think what happened around 1.5 weeks ago with the assassination attempt and Trump's behavior, I think he got Musk's respect. Like, that fist bump after being shot is like, And Trump got my respect too. So this is a behavior. This is an alpha male behavior. So this is like, okay, you can think about Trump whatever you think about him after the first 4 years, and in terms of the volatility and the money he cost me back then with all the now I'm long DAX, and then he comes with tariffs and the market is down 200 points. Like what is this guy doing? How can he behave like that and manipulate markets like? But whatever there might be in terms of like personal stuff, but this is where he gets at least my respect, if I agree with him or not. And this is, by the way, also something which is now, and then I build a bridge now to tariffs and that stuff, where I think, well, I'm not sure how he's seen in China or Russia, but I think this is showing them, okay, if this guy is now sitting at the desk again and we talk to each other, this guy, well, especially after what happened right now, well, he won't play games with us, or we can't play games with him and his administration. So this guy is like, this is like, it's the same. It's the same level. So
I understand. Yeah, I understand.
And that being said, I could imagine, and then I bring another topic like the war in Ukraine, and it quite straightforward. What Trump already promised. He said, "I will end this war." And I don't care. And this is also something this JD Vance, his vice president nominee, said. I don't care about Ukraine. So it's like they will end this war no matter what.
No,
the
we'll
question
see.
now is, on which terms will they end this war? I think, and then it starts to get interesting. So, like, on which terms will they end this war? So it's not that they will go to Russia and tell Vladimir Putin, hey, guy, you know what? Take part of what you just already conquered and keep it or something. But there will kind of negotiations as they are.
I mean, I no, no. Look, I mean, I'm talking about, let's say, no, whatever. When Trump is gonna come in, let's say, if he's gonna come in, okay, it's a different story. I mean, look, now we have like Harris in the running as well, so that's another story. No, I'm just curious about the stock, the Tesla stock. Like for me, like the issue is
yeah. By the way, let me just finish. So like no, you're in these negotiations, and then you say, well, you know what? We give you a break. We are not as aggressive as you might know us from the first presidency of Trump in terms of tariffs. We give you, in this case, China and their connection to Russia, and probably some deals Russia does with China behind closed doors. We give you a break. And therefore, you make a step towards us in terms of Ukraine so that all of us will go out of this saving their faces, probably. And that being said, especially with now Tesla and coming to Tesla and the importance of the Gigafactory in Shanghai, I think this is the with the highest revenue and the most output in terms of Teslas. And also, and something we shouldn't underestimate, is the Tesla energy sector. So the mega factory they're building there with the power walls and everything, and the big revenue boost this could bring to Tesla. So all in all, if I combine all these pieces, I would say it will be bullish on a Tesla stock in terms of the fundamental outlook. And once the Wall Street picks up on this and realizes that Tesla, and this is then the next thing, so political legs are usually very short. So like it will be only a short-term bump, if at all, in terms of the development in the stock, that I say probably there will be an overall digestion or something like that, if at all, and then we'll see a leg higher. So like a stock which will not really pull back from any big developments in the market, overall corrections, but behave relatively strong, let's say. So probably similar to Apple, even though it's a complete different story. But similarly, if you look at the chart, for example, like the developments, and even during the COVID crash, I mean, everything came down, but relatively wise, you really can't really spot this small cut in the chart nowadays anymore. If you look at the Apple stock, and that's something I would probably draw as a future vision for Tesla stock. It's probably, yeah, probably that's the way I look at this right now.
Okay. Okay. Right. No. Okay. In that case, look, from my side again. Okay. From I don't know. For me at this point, I want to see a little bit more info on how it's going to progress, because if how this whole relationship between Trump and Musk will continue, because if they're going to just if this is just a little show, let's say to get some boost for Trump, then that's one thing. If it's not a show, if it's gonna the relationship will continue and Trump wins, then yes, of course, I'm seeing this as a bullish case for the stock.
One question
Actually,
from my end: what do you think has to happen that Trump will not be elected? I don't even see it. Like 4 years ago, I would have said, well, if they now bring up someone like Michelle Obama or something like that. But
it's the desire of the first female president, to have a first female president in the U.S. It's how the whole thing they will spin this whole thing. I mean, maybe it sounds bad or anything, but just this is politics and this is a dirty game. So, and basically, if they're gonna try to spin it like this ethnicity, you'll spin the female factor of it as well. So if you're going to spend all that, yes, she's educated individual, so which who is younger, and this is another thing that can play in her favor. Not defending Harris here, because I, to be honest, don't care about in general, but I'm just trying to see which one's going to be better for the stock market. For me, I'm the person who looks at the how to say it, the where you can basically profit from which stock for which candidate, because in general I don't believe in anybody, and I never believed kind of any of the how to say it, any politician. For me, that's a bit of a struggle, but that's only my personal thing, you know.
oh,
Um,
it's
but
we're in the
look,
same boat
in
here.
general, actually, I wanted to quickly say that we're having comments on the in the chat, and we are not don't get Connie K and J Fo. I can see that. Yeah, sorry for missing out like on when you commented. I can see
I've
that.
already
Yeah.
seen that. I think the SMC. You're referring to SMCI.
I don't know if the gentleman here or not a gentleman, or who I don't know who J Fo. Are they referring to SMCI or SMC? Because there is this Solid Mining Capital, but that's a very like stock which is a
I think
goner.
SMCI, since it was included in the Nasdaq.
If it's
Most recently.
super microcomputer, if that's the question, so if JFO, can you just confirm that this is what you're referring to, SMCI, super microcomputer? Then look, from my side, what I'm thinking, this is another issue. This is where companies like super microcomputer or Nvidia should start, I think, fearing the Trump presidency, because if he's going to start imposing tariffs, then congratulations, AMD and NVDA, SMCI, these companies might be the first one to get hit, because
And
the whole.
beside of that, not well, we have to mention also his comments on Taiwan, right? So like,
Exactly.
well, guys, you take care of yourself right now. So good luck with China. So the thing is that this is potentially bringing people from the AI semiconductor space right to the big players in the US from Taiwan potentially. So that's also something which potentially will affect longer term. I'm not even sure. Are we still allowed to
Because
talk
I think
about
that they
human?
want to, if they want to, if they in the US they want to develop the whole semiconductor industry in the US, so then that means they need brains. Where do you get the brains from? You get them from Taiwan, probably. And as you said, and congratulations, all these conflicts are very beneficial for the US in a way. So because then this way you can bring more brains into the country. Kind of repeating the 20th century model in a way, so it's like, yeah. But we'll see, of course, how this will work out. Again, these companies, if, like I said, if Trump wins, I don't think that these companies are going to be seeing such big gains as we saw, as they saw right now in the beginning of 2024. So super micro TSM, the same story right now. Okay, they will still be in demand unless some sort of a deal will be kind of done. That look exactly, this is what I'm seeing on the chart. TSM, great, recent decline. I think that's all good. It's all great. I think that's it's quite healthy, to be honest. If I think that they could still have another run before November, but then after that it will be. I think it will be in limbo, and until it's going to be like until further notice. Until further notice, what's going to happen? What kind of approach will the U.S. take? So that's why maybe Harris is seen more favorable for the semiconductors, because Harris, as I understand, she will, again, from what you're hearing on the news, she'll probably say, we'll continue protecting Taiwan, whatever, it doesn't matter what. Whereas Trump says, let Taiwan pay for protection. So, that's where the semiconductor game kind of falls in.
From a pure
Um,
trading perspective, I'm well, to be honest, no, I'm not surprised that SMCI is brought up several times, and over again after this massive run we've seen here and the massive volatility we've seen earlier this year. But I would, in fact, never say never, but I traded SMCI
uh-huh.
sometime. There were some occasions when I traded it, but right now, first of all, it's a mess technical wise, I would say. And
Yeah.
beside of that, I think it's not the best trading stock at all compared to something like, for example, Nvidia or something. And what I'm referring then to is this, like SMCI. If I look at a website here, like Finbis, for example, what I have here is a great overview of the stock fundamentals. And what you
Hmm.
see here, there's a shares flow of 50 million shares. So that means, especially with a stock like trading around 700, 800 bucks, you have a spread like it's like this. And if I compare this to an Nvidia, after the most recent stock split, there's 25 billion shares or something. Yeah, 24. Nearly a shares full of 24 billion. So like, and the reason why I mention this is because the spread in one stock is way narrower than it's in the other. There's less volatility. There's more, let's call it trend stability. That's also something which is very interesting. It's not just like for a beginner. So if someone asks me, hey Jens, and what would you say, where should I start? I would say start trading FX first. First of all, because of the liquidity. So, like very tight spreads. It's no gap risk. Well, at least over the weekend, there's a small, but even if there's kind of a vote, let's say in France, an election or whatever, you know that beforehand that there could be like I don't know, Marine Le Pen's Front National could win the election, whatever, and you know that beforehand, and that's why there's a gap risk. So there's no announcement overnight, and even if there is always liquidity, and so this is also very important from a risk management perspective, but also. Very difficult to say that right now because compliance issues, but it's easy to trade. So like there's a trend stability. Like you if a trend develops, there's a trend and this trend will likely continue. The same is also true, by the way, for bonds, for example. So it's also a very heavy market, very liquid, and there's like trend stability. And this is something where you can understand, see how a trend develops, and trade a trend, let's say, relatively easy. And so, if you then want to, let's say, go to the stock world where there's gap risk and everything, and a news, like breaking news and everything, I would then say, well, first of all, start out with blue chips and with the most liquid ones. And the most liquid ones are those with the highest shares float where Nvidia comes into play. So,
Yeah.
bringing this down now, if I trade semiconductors right now, beside the fact that with Nvidia we have the leader in this space, um, that's perfectly summing up why I would say I see the chances. Probably they are not as great as they were at the beginning of the year, and I see
Hmm.
the increased volatility and the chances for bigger moves. But this always also corresponds with higher risk, which is why I would say, well, if I have a chance to formulate a solid trade hypothesis with a nice reward outlook, and I have a moderate risk compared to this, I would always every time choose Nvidia over SMCI. So that's probably my
I mean,
summary of this, and I'm not surprised. Again, like I've seen that. I've received emails with players heavily trading this stock and trying to pick the top, and also because it was so juicy, right options, for example, selling options, sometimes even without being hedged, which is not such a good idea, since then we finally find out if a stock rises, it could to some extent rise higher and higher and higher to infinity. And if you're not hedged and you just shorted calls and the strike was just hit, well, sure, you get a fat premium, but beside of that, you also have a high risk that you could in fact lose it all. And but I think, given what we've just seen and this digestion of a month here, I think this is also a very, very unattractive trading environment in general.
if you go back, and this is what I wanted to show you as well. I saw an article. If you go back into Finviz,
Yeah.
and you click on news, I just wanted to show the viewers basically. Again, it's just an article. Go down a little bit. I'll tell you when to stop. Go down, scroll down. Go, and stop here. Stop. So you see, July 22nd, Market Watch, Nvidia, Supermicro, Broadcom, and 22 other stocks most likely to crash. It's a nice article in there. Again,
I
it's
smell some
it's a thought.
sentiment extreme.
It's a thought. It's just an article. Look, everybody has an opinion. I shouldn't say that you need to blindly follow this. No, you have to have your own brains in this as well. So just but yeah, it's good to read articles sometimes to get a different opinion as well. Because this, like I said, yeah, I mean, I looked at it in general. If you scroll all the way down in there, you'll see a big table.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. These guys are asking us to subscribe. Anyway, I'll try to copy this.
all headlines with crashed. Most likely, you have to subscribe.
Yeah. Let me. I think I have like one unused. I think I have the one unused opportunity here. Let me share my screen very quickly. I just wanted to.
Does it? Can you share your screen without any problems?
Yeah, sure. I mean, if you just a second. So you can see mine, right? I mean, you can
Yeah.
if you stop sharing yours. I mean,
Oh, well, wait a second. Then I have to here.
yeah. So this is in this article basically. This is the ending, and then basically this is what they're expecting, that
Is it the
margin by
first one?
which the stock beat 500 S&P 500 over trailing 2 years in percentage points. This is like so basically they're kind of talking about the potential crash. I mean, that's way too overextended in a way. So super micro computer, it's like, wow, it's like, so this is and you have their Abercrombie and Fitch, Nvidia,
Which, by the way,
Allen.
Abercrombie Fitch, has nothing to do with semiconductors, but it's
Oh,
like
no, 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 of
it's a
course, no,
retailer. It's
yeah.
like and the funny thing is, if you look at the charts, so ANF in this case, like the first three, well, they all went vertical. Most of them just went vertical. I think it's not such a good idea to, for whatever reason. I mean, like, did they? I just saw a guy. It was funny. I was walking outside with my boys. And there was a guy who had a sweater on, and it was like Abercrombie and Fitch. And I looked at him, pointed my finger right at the guy like this, and I said, "Look at this. This is a strong stock, my son. This is a strong stock." And the guy looked at me like, "What?"
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people don't even understand, like, that this is. But look, these guys, I think that they've rocketed after, and this is what I call I mean, not only I call, it's a saying that bad publicity is good publicity. So there's a documentary, I think, on Netflix or something like that, and
I think that's a quote from Jordan Belfort.
yeah, yeah. So bad publicity is good publicity, and so basically, I think that the Sindens, like, they were rocketing and everything, but eventually, they will correct at some point. Look, I actually, Jens, before we kind of run out of time in general, let's have a look at maybe Google. Just a sec. Google, let's have a look, because these guys are reporting earnings today, if I'm not mistaken, right? Can you hear me?
And I can hear you. I was like, what's the word for this? Organizing my thoughts, because I mean, Google. I was kind of surprised to see that Google releases earnings now together with Tesla, because the last quarters it was that they released with Microsoft, which is very interesting, because now I look at it from a Q's perspective or a Nasdaq perspective. Well, we came in already something like 10% or so. Is it? Yeah, around something like that. And I think I'm not really sure what they will deliver. Most likely, they will crush it once again. Let's see how they're how they're doing in their AI space and the cloud business. But I think market participants will start to think like, okay, this is what Google delivered. Most likely, Microsoft will follow 1 week later. And this could then result in kind of an anticipation, which means we came in already. And my thesis right now is quite straightforward. I say, well, you know what? We came in. Numbers will probably come in as expected, probably slightly outperform on the upside, come in better than expected. We potentially run up. Let's see whether we make higher highs, new all-time highs, whatever. But this then, if we anticipate Microsoft to be similar to Google, that could then result in at least a bounce in the Nasdaq and probably result in reduced downside potential. So this is why the numbers are of interest to me. In fact, right now I'm solely looking at Tesla. As an investor, certainly. I don't really mind the Google earnings, but looking at the Nasdaq, I have to look at the earnings and the reaction, because it will most likely affect the overall market, because it's a classic market stock.
True. For me, I mean, like I said, I'm looking at this in general. Yes, of course. But I'm actually, what I'm curious about is like, if they're going to report earnings, probably, yeah, but everybody probably will now be looking at forecasts, like, what's in the next Q3, Q4,
So the guidance, in fact.
Exactly. So this is like, I mean, what they're probably going to be looking at as well. And I think that this is where, even though if the numbers come out great, but if the other Qs are going to be on the downside a little bit, then this is where maybe a bit of a hit could come. So this is what we had last time as well. Some companies that came out with great earnings, and but then they reported, let's say, oh, Q2 or Q3, we're not seeing very good results. And that's my issue right now with this. I mean, that's why with Google, I will believe it when I'll see it. I'll wait for the numbers, and then we can do something about it. With Nasdaq, I mean, maybe yes, a bit of a retracement could be great. It's kind of at the moment on a down move. Actually, not a down move, on a correction move. So from my side, but okay, so far,
yesterday we saw a change in character. So when looking at the I think 30-minute chart or something like that, we saw a sequence of falling highs and lows, and then now you see that there was a change in character yesterday when we pushed higher, especially like the flush lower. That was something like 5 p.m. German time, so like 3 p.m. GMT or something like that. And it was surprising to see that. After that, I then went to the gym. I just like, okay, I'm done. And I look at the indications next time, and I see that we are back at the highs. And I think that, especially with breaking and holding above the highs from Friday, that was kind of a change in character. And probably we run up into the Google earnings, and then we see. I really don't want to be long, in fact, into the Google earnings. But tomorrow, well, the deck is reshuffled, let's say. And I could imagine that probably after hours, we kind of see a flush lower or something like that. But if we buy it back and reverse, I think that could then overall potentially mean that we are back good for a push back to 20,100, 200, something like that, probably even 300 on the upside for, well, the second half of the week. But that's something which needs to be seen. I think right now you can't really. It's difficult to say, okay, from a risk perspective, am I willing to take the risk? To be honest, no. I think we have enough meat on the bone on the upside, even if we're not really picking the bottom here, but see a first reaction, and then once we see it, we can still hit it. And
Okay. No. Look, just if you want to share the screen, honestly, I can jump off from this. Like, I mean, is there anything that we can pick up? Actually, ladies and gentlemen, whoever's watching, do you have any questions in general? Maybe maybe somebody wants us to look into something as well. But before actually, what do you think about? Because since last time we spoke, we were talking about the yen, and we after that we got a little intervention from the government, and I mean nobody
and
know
this time it seemed as if there were some smart guys sitting at the desk, right? So they waited, I think, for the non-farm payrolls.
we were
No, it was inflation.
it was the inflation numbers, US inflation
Yes.
numbers.
Exactly, and then we saw like coming in cooler, and they hit it right straight after that. And so far it seems as if it's finally start to work. Well, let's see. I mean, I'm kind of. I don't think.
I think personally, I think that we will go all the way. Well, the yen will be strengthening all the way to the Bank of Japan's meeting next week, the last day of July. And then in there, because look, initially we were all thinking that the Bank of Japan is kind of needs to do something about it, needs to strengthen the Japanese yen. They need to hike rates, and then suddenly this government intervention comes in quietly, and the yen starts like getting like buying interest a lot, and now we're keep on dropping. So I think that the yen could continue strengthening against its major counterparts up until the meeting, up until the BOJ meeting. Then the BOJ comes out saying, you know what, we're not going to do a hike. We're just going to leave it because look at the yen. Look, the yen is stronger, right? Why do we need to do a hike? And that's where we will start reversing again to the upside. So this is my like speculative brain thinking, and like because everything is just aligning perfectly, for the BOJ not to do anything again.
So what I'm right now wondering is, did we finally? No, not finally, but will inflation still come in lower, or is there a chance for, let's call it, a second wave higher in terms of inflation, especially in the US? Because the thing is, if such a second wave for whatever reason comes out, and well, I mean, like. What could be a reason?
My opinion that is going to go up again. In my opinion, I think
it's funny because then if we then follow through, it means like the Fed, which is right now expected to cut rates at least 2 times till December. Well, not really sure whether it will happen within the next 6 months, but let's say within the next 12 months. Then we know that there's a positive correlation between 10-year US yields, or 2-year yields even, with the dollar JPY, which means like this is another reason to be bullish on dollar JPY, respectively bearish on the JPY, especially if they do what you just presented, like saying, well, like it's some kind of like, do you remember this goal from Diego Maradona in 1986 against Great Britain? This when he just went straight through, and it was the same game with
the other one. You're talking about the handball.
No, and the second one. So the hand of God, that was the first or second goal, and the first one, it was like he picked up the ball in his in the Argentina half, and then he just went straight through. The interesting thing about this was that he never really like changed course, but the defenders, they tried to anticipate his moves, and he only needed to run straight through.
Yeah.
And I think this anticipation is similar to what you just described in terms of like, well, what do you want? I mean, there was an intervention. We don't need to do anything right now. We just go straight through and continue with our current course, which is then surprising market participants and seeing where we would then result in another sharper leg higher.
I mean, could be. Especially, look, for me, with the Fed as well. I mean, I'm kind of a skeptic that they're going to do 2 cuts by the end of this year. I'm thinking that they're going to do this one, please the market, and they're going to do this one in September, please the market. Then do not do anything in November, and then everybody's going to be like, "Hey, so are you going to do cut this in December?" But then, if inflation starts picking up, what you were talking about, inflation starts picking up, then why do you need to cut the rates? So on the
It will be
contrary, they
funny.
will.
Did you hear what Trump just said? I think he warned Jay Powell and said, "Hey, don't cut rates before I'm in office." I think that the second time when he's again U.S. president, whatever will happen, I don't know. But I think it will be very funny. I'd really love to see him go back on Twitter then. Like, I could imagine that to be really, really, really
That's
fun.
why,
This time
that's why
we
he's
know what
friends
to
with Musk.
expect.
That's why he's getting friendly with Musk. So it's like he needs that Twitter account, X account. Yeah.
So you see, and this is how you shake hands in the behind closed doors and say, well, you get some followers and we get some nice.
Exactly. So yeah. Yeah, anyway, just a second, I wanted to check. No, nothing's coming through, no comments, anything. Let me just stop sharing my screen, basically. I mean, I think oh, by the way, do you want to talk something, like, do you want to talk commodities, or do you want to talk or crypto or whatever? I don't know.
Be honest, so probably crypto got a little more interesting. I'm not really sure whether commodities are so of interest right now. So like gold saw this potential fake out on the upside, right?
All-time high. Gold had an all-time high since last time we spoke. It went last week. It went for an all-time high. So we managed to clear. I was talking on my webinar, and I was telling people, look, I'm aiming for that 2,500 zone. I really love that area. It came close. We came very close to that, but we didn't reach it. Okay, that's fine. So then we drifted back down. I said, look, keep your eyes on that 2,400 zone, because it's going to be like a nice floor. If we clear that 2,400, then there's a chance for this one to actually drift a little bit lower, maybe back to that 2,300 or something like that. But at this point, all eyes are on that 2,400. If we're going to rebound again from it, I'm kind of again leaning towards the 2,500 zone. Of course, we'll see how it plays out, but yeah, I like that psychological 2,500. I think it could be something exciting. But in terms of the cryptos, I mean, Bitcoin, yeah, continues to rally. But what I wanted to quickly show that Bitcoin continues to rally, but let's say Bitcoin Cash, Litecoin, Ripple. Okay, Ripple is a different story. Dogecoin,
Or Ethereum also, I think. I think
Ethereum,
you will say it's relatively weak, right? So right now, Ethereum is potentially picking up due to this ETF approval, if I'm not mistaken.
Exactly.
But the other cryptos are like.
So my question is actually, are we seeing in what we're seeing in Bitcoin right now is just like a little phase, because of the positivity of around the Bitcoin ETF, or actually are we gonna are we gonna explode higher even further? Because these guys, the Bitcoin Cash, Litecoin, Dogecoin, Polkadot, they're all stuck. Like, I mean, they're all not doing much. They're not following the lead. So is there a bigger picture behind it that we don't know? Or actually, are they going to pick up and then explode? So this is where my issue is right now with the crypto world. Yes, great for these guys, but actually, Coinbase, this one's picking up. Coinbase is picking up. Riot Technologies is kind of picking up as well.
CleanSpark, probably CleanSpark is interesting. CleanSpark has a CLSK. Very, very interesting, because there's like 20. It's like, yeah, you see the range. It's a beautiful range, and if you zoom out a little, then you will see that it's not necessarily 20, but this is potentially the entry. And once we clear that entry, 20, so the next target on the upside 25, and then we're 50.
Good to go.
We're good to go. And I think CleanSpark, even though there's massive volatility in it, like intraday swings of 10% or something, but small speculative positions. So if you say, well, I am not the wallet guy in Bitcoin or don't want to trade it with like a CFD or something, I could imagine that, well, small chunk in CLSK is potentially interesting, let's say. And I think they are also located in the US, if I'm not mistaken. And this is, by the way, so the pickup in Bitcoin, I was kind of surprised, to be honest, because, I mean, we saw this push higher right after the assassination attempt of Trump and followed through then. And it made it likelier that Trump is potentially going to win. And then, well, there are these positive comments from Trump, if I'm not mistaken, towards Bitcoin, and skepticism.
The positivity is coming from JD Vance.
Is it him then? Okay, well, because the thing is that looking back into, I think, 2020, there were rumors that Trump behind closed doors said, let's shut this stuff down. So
the whole thing kind of started pushing higher. Bitcoin started pushing higher because on the news that Trump appointed JD Vance, who is like pro crypto and stuff like that. To be honest, I will see it when I will believe it when I'll see it. So if he is so pro, then okay, that's great. But I think it's just like buy the rumor, like sell the news thing as well. So
So but I longer term, I'm bullish on right now we are still in this range, but I think once we break above 72, well, make new all-time highs, I think 100K is the next one. And to be honest, so I remember the days back in the first really crypto craze, let's say, that was in 2017 when we first went berserk on the upside vertical. Like, it would be nice to see that. Like, I don't know. Trump gets the US presidency, and then volatility will naturally pick up. The Fed's gonna lose it and cut rates because of all the trouble we are ahead to see with Donald Trump as US president. You remember 2016? Like wars break out and like inflation picked up and like okay, I'm sorry. I'm just kidding.
Listen, are we okay to because we're running an hour, I think, already, so I think I would continue with this. I mean, but can we do you mind if we'll wrap this up? I think that people are already getting, I don't know, as well, like unless we want to cover on something, because I will look, I have another meeting that I need to attend, that's why.
Of course, myself too. So I have to drink something. I have a tea, but it's unfortunately not on my desk, but in the kitchen. So I forgot to pick it up when I came here.
That's why I grab a thermos all the time.
Yeah, I'm looking at you and I just think, well, at least I have the same haircut. Like, not as smart as Darius, but.
I think we can wrap it up a little bit here. I mean, first of all, Jens, I would really like to appreciate. Thank you very much for having me on your channel. I really, thank you very much for this. I think it was a great session, and I think we covered a lot of things. Actually, we had a great discussion. I think a podcast between with me and you could be great.
Next time, you already said we have to have a drink in Cyprus. So sunset. And then a nice cigar, and then we stream ourselves right from the beach.
Not to forget our Lamborghinis in the background. Lamborghinis.
Yeah, certainly. But it's my wife. My wife is driving cars, so I'm like
okay.
I'm just picking up the kids sometimes.
Anyway, and on that note, thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, Darius.
Let me stop sharing my screen so that we would be bigger here a little bit. So yes, thank you very much, Jens. I hope we're gonna do another session together. If people like this, if the viewers liked it, so please let us know, or maybe something that you would like us to maybe pick up on next time. So yes, we'll feel free. We're open for comments. Yep.
And I think there were no translation issues or something because there was no question on what did he just say.
True. So and on that note, ladies and gentlemen, can I just jump off? So I'll let you finish off your stream.
Darius,
okay,
thanks for being on the show, and guys, talk to you tomorrow, most likely tomorrow. Yeah, because there will be some Tesla earnings we said, right?
True. So I'll speak to you later on. So yes, but thank you very much, everybody. I'll see you later. Bye bye.
See you guys. Bye bye.